Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Today we have brought top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. President Donald Trump hits China with 104% tariffs after trade deadline passed. President Donald Trump opens direct nuclear talks with Iran amid rising tensions. President Donald Trump signed executive order to boost coal industry and reverse past policies. Trump administration removes senior officer Chatfield from NATO role. Trump administration revoked hundreds of student visas. California man pleads guilty for selling fake celebrity autographs. Governor Hochul highlights progress in fighting housing discrimination across New York State. Zelensky reveals two Chinese men captured fighting for Russia in Ukraine. Tragedy strikes Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo as roof collapse kills 44. "50 hippos die from anthrax in Virunga National Park, Congo." Fire breaks out at Cristiano Ronaldo's hotel in Morocco. And Kevin De Bruyne could join Lionel Messi at Inter Miami in MLS. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. The United States has imposed a 104% tariff on all Chinese imports after China refused to remove its retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. President Donald Trump made the decision after Beijing missed a deadline to withdraw its tariffs. The new tariffs include a 34% increase as part of Trump's earlier reciprocal package. But after China refused to back down, Trump added another 70%, bringing the total to 104%. These tariffs are on top of earlier ones put in place before Trump's second term. China strongly opposed the move, calling it a mistake upon a mistake, and promised to respond with more tariffs on U.S. goods. U.S. stocks reacted quickly. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 turned negative, while the Dow stayed positive. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Trump is standing firm and won't back down. Trump had earlier imposed 10% tariffs on China and later doubled them. Dozens of other countries and the European Union are also expected to face new tariffs soon, ranging from 11% to 50%. Trump plans to offer custom trade deals only to those willing to negotiate directly. President Donald Trump announced that the United States would begin direct nuclear talks with Iran. He made this statement during a White House meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Trump said he hoped a deal could be reached but warned that Iran would face great danger if talks failed. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the negotiations began in Oman. He made it clear that Iran only accepted indirect talks and stressed that the key issue was the removal of U.S. sanctions. Trump had reimposed those sanctions in 2018, which badly hurt Iran's economy. Arakchi said the format of the talks did not matter much, but results did. He said if the US showed enough goodwill, a deal could happen. The ball is in America's court, he said. Trump confirmed a major meeting with Iran was planned and said the US was dealing with them directly. However, Iran dismissed the idea of direct talks earlier and called it pointless. There is rising concern that Israel, possibly with US help, might attack Iran's nuclear sites if no agreement is reached. President Donald Trump signed an executive order aimed at revitalizing the U.S. coal industry. The order directed federal agencies to remove barriers to coal mining on public lands and prioritized coal leasing. It also officially ended the Obama-era moratorium on coal leasing on federal lands. Trump emphasized that clean coal was key to achieving affordable, reliable energy and supporting American energy dominance. The order redefined coal as a mineral, giving the government more flexibility in its use. While coal production had decreased during Trump's first term, the new executive order sought to reverse policies that transitioned the country away from coal, focusing instead on renewable energy sources. Environmental groups criticized the move, arguing it would take the U.S. backward. Kit Kennedy from the National Resources Defense Council called the decision a step in the wrong direction. Although the coal industry had seen a decline in jobs and plant openings with fewer workers in the sector, Trump remained determined to push for coal as a vital part of America's energy future. The Pentagon confirmed that Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatfield was removed from her position as the U.S. military representative to NATO's military committee. This marks the ninth senior officer to be fired by the Trump administration. Secretary Pete Hegseth said Chatfield's removal was due to a loss of confidence in her ability to lead. Chatfield had faced criticism for her support of diversity and inclusion initiatives. She was one of several officers targeted by conservative groups for promoting what they called woke values. Her firing adds to a growing list of military officials dismissed under the Trump administration, including prominent figures like Admiral Linda Fagan and General C.Q. Brown Jr. Democratic Senator Mark Warner expressed concerns, stating that Trump's actions weaken U.S. security. Chatfield, who had a distinguished career in the Navy, previously served as president of the Naval War College, becoming its first female leader. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. The Trump administration revoked hundreds of international student visas, forcing many students to leave the U.S. within days. The cancellations affected students across several states, including California, Colorado, and Michigan. Students were informed via unexpected emails or texts that their visas had been cancelled in the federal system. This move, which immigration experts say is unprecedented, has raised concerns among universities and immigration groups. The cancellations were linked to activities such as participating in protests or minor issues like traffic tickets. Some students, including those near graduation, were impacted, with the University of Michigan attempting to assist a student who needed to finish his degree work. Colorado State University and other schools also reported visa revocations, with some students escorted to the airport. The cancellations have sparked protests, and groups like the American Council on Education have sought clarification on the decision-making process, urging officials to support international students. Anthony J. Tremaine, a former California resident, sold forged memorabilia including fake autographs from the Kardashians and President Donald Trump, making between $250,000 and $550,000, federal authorities reported. Tremaine, 58 years old, who once lived in West Covina and now resides in Rosarito, Mexico, pleaded guilty to mail fraud. Between 2010 and 2019, Tremaine sold items with fake signatures of celebrities, including athletes and actors. Some of the forged items included a photograph of the Kardashians and a signed picture of President Trump from 2019. Tremaine advertised these items across the country. When FBI agents seized some of the fake merchandise in 2014, Tremaine dismissed the investigation, saying it wasn't a big deal. Tremaine is scheduled to be sentenced on August 11, 2025 and could face up to 20 years in prison. Governor Kathy Hochul announced significant progress in fighting housing discrimination in New York State. Over the past year, the Division of Human Rights awarded more than $320,000 in compensation to victims of housing discrimination. In addition to financial compensation, cases have led to changes in policies, training, and anti-discrimination measures by housing providers. To mark Fair Housing Month, New York State landmarks were lit blue to celebrate the anniversary of the Federal Fair Housing Act. Governor Hochul emphasized that combating housing discrimination remains a top priority, ensuring that every New Yorker has access to a safe, affordable home. As part of ongoing efforts, the Division of Human Rights also resolved numerous cases, including settlements involving anti-discrimination training and policy changes for housing providers. A conference titled "We All Belong Here" was also held to celebrate the division's 80th anniversary and continue to work toward equity and justice. Now it's time for global updates. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky reported that 2 Chinese men were captured fighting for the Russian army in the Donetsk region. He stated that there were likely more Chinese nationals involved in the conflict alongside Russia. Zelensky has called on Ukraine's top diplomat to urgently contact Beijing to understand its stance on the situation. While China has supported Russia diplomatically and economically, it has not been known to supply military assistance like Iran or North Korea. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiga criticized China's involvement, stating that it undermined China's credibility on the global stage. The incident took place near the villages of Terasivka and Bilahorivka, where Ukrainian troops clashed with 6 Chinese soldiers. 2 were captured, marking China's first known military involvement in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Russia, which accepts foreign fighters, continues to recruit soldiers while both sides are preparing for intensified fighting in the upcoming months. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. At least 44 people were killed and over 140 injured in a roof collapse at the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Rescue teams, including a specialized canine unit, searched for survivors in the rubble. Authorities believed many people could still be alive under the debris. Among the victims was Nelson Cruz, the governor of Montecristi province, who died in the hospital after calling for help when the roof fell. Retired MLB pitcher Octavio Dotel also died in the incident. Merengue singer Ruby Perez, who was performing, was trapped but later confirmed to be alive, though injured. President Luis Abinader expressed deep regret and said all rescue agencies were working relentlessly. The nightclub, known for hosting live performances, had many well-known artists and fans when the disaster struck. Authorities continued to search for survivors with hopes of saving more lives. Around 50 hippos have died from anthrax poisoning in Virunga National Park, located in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The dead hippos were found floating in a river south of Lake Edward, which marks the border between the DRC and Uganda. The park's director, Emmanuel de Mehode, confirmed the deaths, noting that the bacteria Bacillus anthracis, which causes anthrax, survives in the soil for decades, especially where animals that died of anthrax were buried. This disease can be transmitted to humans and domestic animals, posing a potential risk. Virunga, Africa's oldest national park, has faced repeated anthrax outbreaks affecting not only hippos but also other wildlife. The Congolese Institute for Nature Conservation has urged people to avoid eating bushmeat. The park, once home to the world's largest hippo population, has seen its wildlife numbers sharply decline due to poaching and conflict in the region. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. A fire broke out at Cristiano Ronaldo's Pestana CR7 hotel in Marrakech, Morocco, but was quickly contained by emergency services. The fire started in an empty room on Saturday, but prompt action from civil protection teams prevented any major damage. All guests and staff were safely evacuated and no injuries were reported. Moroccan media, including FES News, stated that an investigation was launched to find the cause of the fire. Initial findings suggest that the fire could have been caused by an electrical short circuit. The Pestana CR7 hotel is part of Ronaldo's luxury hotel chain in partnership with the Pestana Hotel Group. The hotel in Marrakech opened in 2022. Ronaldo owns similar hotels in Lisbon, Madeira, Madrid, and New York. Authorities will continue investigating to determine the full cause and ensure such incidents are prevented in the future. Kevin De Bruyne may be on his way to join Lionel Messi at Inter Miami in Major League Soccer. Reports from The Athletic and ESPN on Monday revealed that Inter Miami secured the Belgian star's discovery rights, allowing them to negotiate a contract if he decides to leave Manchester City. De Bruyne's discovery rights were originally held by San Diego FC but were removed earlier this year after the club decided he didn't fit their plans. The main obstacle for a move is De Bruyne's salary, with reports suggesting he earns around $20 million per year at City. MLS salary rules limit teams, but Inter Miami could work around this using targeted allocation money and general allocation money. Although Miami's current designated player spots are filled, they may add De Bruyne after the 2025 season when some contracts end. A move to MLS could see De Bruyne continue his successful career alongside Messi. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 17,188.46. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 250.18 points or 1.43%. Tokyo stock close price is 33,012.58. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 1,876.00 points or 6.03%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,145.55. The Shanghai index is increased by 48.97 points or 1.58%. Hong Kong stock close price is 20,127.68. The Hang Seng index is increased by 299.38 points or 1.51%. Bombay stock close price is 74,227.08. The Sensex index is increased by 1,089.18 points or 1.49%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. President Donald Trump hits China with 104% tariffs after trade deadline passed. President Donald Trump opens direct nuclear talks with Iran amid rising tensions. President Donald Trump signed executive order to boost coal industry and reverse past policies. Trump administration removes senior officer Chatfield from NATO role. Trump administration revoked hundreds of student visas. California man pleads guilty for selling fake celebrity autographs. Governor Hochul highlights progress in fighting housing discrimination across New York State. Zelensky reveals 2 Chinese men captured fighting for Russia in Ukraine. Tragedy strikes Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo as roof collapse kills 44. "50 hippos die from anthrax in Virunga National Park, Congo." Fire breaks out at Cristiano Ronaldo's hotel in Morocco. And Kevin De Bruyne could join Lionel Messi at Inter Miami in MLS. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all smart TVs and Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jagu TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jagu BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.